Thanks to all of y'all who are watching my channel, especially this video. Name of my channel is Master of Nothing. And it's basically a little bit about my life, a lot of music that I do. I'm a local musician in the area. So I sure would appreciate it if you would subscribe and hit the like button on all my videos. Anything I make in the future will be going 100% to Children's of Mississippi, which is our hospital branch for children and research center and everything located here in central Mississippi. So I sure would appreciate your support. This is an open letter to Coach Sam Pittman with the Arkansas Razorback football team. I hope some way, somehow, one day Sam will hear this so he will know my feelings for him and the Razorback football team. I'm 70 years old. I've been a Razorback fan as long as I can remember. Many, many years ago, I can remember as a small child listening to the Razorbacks on the radio with my mom and my dad, crying like a baby when we lost. I was a baby. Laughing up a storm when we won, especially if it was against Texas. And I'm not just a football fan, I'm a Razorback fan. First of all, being from Arkansas, I need to explain that being a Razorback is a way of life. It's not just being a fan. If you are a true Razorback fan, it just consumes a big part of your life. I remember U.S. Reed's half-court shot to beat Louisville in basketball. Of course, I remember our national championship in basketball. I remember well our national championship in football. I remember the miracle on Markham. I remember the triplets on the basketball team. I remember 4th and 25 not too many years ago against Ole Miss. I remember all of our national track and field championships. So, and not to forget, obviously, our great football team. But it's more than sports. True fans in Arkansas, it is a way of life. It's the whole game. It's the whole ball of wax. It's everything. Including the memorabilia, including calling the hogs. Just everything about it. 37 years ago, I was transferred down here to Mississippi with my job. And since our kids were small back then, we got them in a good school and everything. And so we made a decision to stay here. Because this is where our children had grown up and their roots were from. Always go back home as often as I can. And the minute I cross into the border of Arkansas, I just have that warm feeling in my heart. Now I'm going to tell you something. Being a hog fan down here in Mississippi has been rough. Especially the last few years. I follow the local sports talk shows down here. And I try to voice my opinion a lot of times, but obviously I'm outnumbered, and rightly so. But Coach Pittman, I want you to understand something. The day that it was announced that you were our new coach, when you were up on the podium giving your introductory talk to the fans that were there. I was crying right along with you, man. Because I knew. I had talked to one of my sons, who he and I talk a lot about Razorback football. I told him, I said, son, this is the hire. Because I'd followed you, Sam. I'd followed your career. Your integrity, your honesty, of course, your time when you were with the Razorbacks as O-line coach. Man, we had a remarkable O-line. So I knew that you were going to right the ship, if you will. I remember calling the show down here, texting the show down here. I'm not a frequent caller. I'd rather just text every now and then. And man, I was called delusional. Your hire was a joke. Just literally harassed. And I'm okay with that. You know, I'm okay with that. But you need to understand that I knew what was going to happen up on the hill with your leadership. What you've done in the short time you've been up there has been absolutely remarkable. Absolutely fantastic. For the last several years, we have had the hardest schedule in the country. And that's not just me saying that. That's for public record. Everybody knows that. And when COVID hit and everything just went to hell in a handbasket, and we finally found out that we were going to have some type of season last year, then it was determined that we would play all SEC schools. And then lo and behold, the SEC office picked us to play Georgia and Florida. And I'm thinking, wow. Wow. I mean, the entire schedule last year was murderer's row. And you know that. You know what you were up against. Yeah, we won 3 games last year. A lot of people down here didn't think we'd win any. And 3 or 4 other games, we were right there. Yeah, Auburn, we beat them. There is no doubt we beat them. But this is this year. All I'd heard the last several weeks down here was how Texas is just going to pound the Hogs in the ground. Well, guess what? It didn't happen. And you know, I sat on my sofa and starting in about halfway through the third quarter, I'd laugh a minute and I'd weep for a minute. I'd laugh for a minute and I'd cry a minute. And I mean, I was crying. If I'm a softie, what the heck, I'm a softie. But they were tears of joy because I could see the absolute pounding that you were, I'm about to cry now over it. Just pounding Texas, pounding them and pounding them. And the Razorbacks have been talked about a little on the local radio down here. Texas wasn't that good, blah, 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 this and that. I've only heard one radio host down here give credit where credit is due, and I appreciate that radio host for doing that. Now look, we're in the SEC West. We know that nothing is easy. Once again this year, strength of schedule, Arkansas has the number 1 strength of schedule in the country. And look, I'm a realist. Nobody's going to win all their games. Totally understand. But you and your team and your coaches and the people that mix the Gatorade, the graduate assistants, the people the hundreds of people that help the program on a daily basis that goes totally unnoticed, that runs up and hands a towel to the players. Everybody. I am so very grateful. I'm so excited about this year. And Coach, I know that you're going to just continue to be Coach Pittman. I like Coach Pittman. I like you a bunch. I sure would like one day, if I ever get the opportunity, to shake your hand. It's going to be battles. Not all battles are going to be won. There'll be losses, of course. But I wish you'd do a favor for me. Times you see your players maybe down a little bit after a loss, or something happening that frustrates the players, frustrates the coaches, frustrates everybody in the athletic department. Let them know this. Let them know that words matter. Words matter. Actions matter. What you are in here matters. And when those players may be feeling a little bit down or whatever, tell them that there's people out there like me that are watching them with every breath that I take and supporting them. I would never, ever say any single thing negative about those kids. And I can say kids because I have 5 sons. My oldest is 48 and my youngest is 25. And they're kids. So when they get a little bit discouraged or whatever, please tell them for me that there's people out there that's on their side, that there's people out there that are so very, very grateful to them. Like I say, I hope this video finds you. It may be that you never see it, but God bless you. God bless the football team. God bless the athletic department.